Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this little pine cone bauble. I've made it in such a way that it opens up like that, and then you can put a battery operated night light inside it and then close it up again. There we go. And then hang it on your tree. Obviously you can't see the best of it in this light, but they really do look gorgeous. And I'll hold it close to you so you can see the pattern on it. It's I embossed the vellum cardstock before I cut out all the baubles, but the I'm not sure what the pine, I suppose you call them pines if it's a pine cone, but that's what I'm going to show you how to make. I posted this on my blog today and I wasn't sure whether to do a video or not. Wasn't quite sure whether I had explained it well enough. But while I've been working away today, I've been thinking about it and I thought, yes, I will. We'll make the video. I will just show you one other, and that's this one here. This is the one that I made last year and posted to YouTube. But this is a fixed one. You can't open this up without damaging the pine cones. They've just been put on to cover the whole bauble, whereas that one has been done so that two halves are covered. So you're going to be able to have the choice. What you need to do is, first of all, with our cardstock weight vellum, emboss using the Decorative Dots embossing folder. Obviously I've done most of this beforehand, otherwise you'd fall asleep while you're watching me doing all of this, but I did find that this was a great way of using up all the scraps of my vellum that I had. So once you've done this, you need your 1-inch circle punch, and you need to punch out about 60. It depends on the size of the bauble that you have. Mine measures, let me have a look, what did I say? 2 3/8 for the diameter, and I know that does take about 60. Okay, so there's 4. Once I've punched them out, I get my glue dots, and then with the bumps facing upwards, I place a glue dot on each. Okay, so that's those done. So I'll bring over my tray where I have all of my circles on, ready prepared. Let's just pop these up here as well. Here we go. True Blue Peter style. Here's one I made earlier, or in this case here's some. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, first of all I'm going to get the half of the bauble that has the ridge on the inside. Okay, one's got it on the inside, that one's got it on the outside. Okay, so I want the one that's got the rim inside. Now this is the one where I'm going to put all my circles on, but I need them all to overlap here as much as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is keep that at the top so that you know which way your circles have got to go, because you want them all hanging downwards. So the first one is going to be the very bottom one, and I've lined that up with the hanger part, and you can see how much I've got that hanging over. Yeah. So the next one I'm going to do is next door to it. I can see my hanger through here. Okay, so I'm still keeping this straight, and then I'm going to do another one on this side. Okay, so I've got the three all hanging over. Now I'm going to start doing the next line. So I'm going to go up in between these two and about halfway up. Depending on your spacing will be what decides how many circles you need for your bauble. Now that I've done those two, I need to bring this round over here and that one there. So I'm going to slide that underneath. I'm keeping my glue dots up to the top. Okay, now I'm sliding this one underneath, but keeping it so it's coming over. Okay, but always keeping this at the top so I know that I'm going to get half circles all the time. I'm going to come around with this one. Now I am just going to keep building round. This is surprisingly easy and surprisingly quick to make. And it certainly benefits from having the occasional squeeze just to make sure that all of these stay glued down nicely. Oops. Okay. No. I try keep going over the top rather than under, but occasionally going under is a better option. Okay, so I've got a nice line going round here now. So I'm going to go up one more. I'm going to hold it differently now because I'm getting a lot closer to the top. Right, that's not going to go right to the top, this one. The next one will do. The great thing is with this vellum you could see through to see exactly where the glue dot is. So you know that the glue dot is going on the bauble every time and not relying on another circle. Okay, so this is my last one. I'm making sure it comes over the top. Okay. And that's got to cover that bit there. Then I take that one Okay, now I've got a little gap here at the top. I could put one in, or I could say the bow's going to cover that up and not to worry about it. No, I'm not going to worry about it. The bow will cover that up. So around the edge, I think you can see that all the circles have come way over the edge. Okay. That one's not quite over the edge, so let's manipulate that a bit. There we go, it's over the edge now. Okay, so now with this one, we're going to do the same but in reverse. This time we don't want the glue dots too close to the edge, because if they're too close it's going to interfere with the ridge there, and you definitely don't want the circles coming over the edge. Alright, so starting from the bottom again, and keeping in line with the hanger there. Okay, so I've done that, and then do one on either side. If you do get one that comes slightly over the edge, it's not the end of the world, it's just one of those things that it's best to try and avoid. Okay, so like the other side, I've built up the first 5, one there, and then do those around it. There we go. Now I'm going to come round the side here. And once you get that far, it's plain sailing, because you don't have the edges to worry about. Okay, so don't forget, keep the blue dots away from the edge. In fact, keep everything away from, well, glue dots away from the edge, and the circles, keep them away from going over the edge. Okay. Right, I've got a little bit unbalanced there, so I'm going to try and retrieve myself again. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it? There we go. Now, go back to the first one. Have a look from the bottom to see if you've left any large gaps of the bauble. There will be bits that you can see, but you shouldn't be able to see any really big bits. I mean, I can see a bit there, but that's not going to be visible once it's hanging up. If you're worried about ones, I will put an extra one in there anyway. It doesn't really need it, but just slide another bauble in there. Okay. You can't tell an extra one's been slid in there at all. And that looks all alright. I'm going to slide some in because I do seem to have quite a few left over, and I don't like waste. Well, that's about it. That's all I can manage. Right, first of all, what I'm going to do is to check that these will actually slide together. Now what should happen is, because there's nothing interrupting with that rim, this should slide straight onto it easily. Okay, so just make sure you line these two up at the top, and you just need to encourage these to go together. There we go. You hear that snap closed? And then all you need to do is squeeze it to make sure all the glue dots are holding tight. Okay, so that's the bauble. Okay, and the bottom. Looking around it, you can't see any of the perspex in there. So, in fact, that's a little bit exposed there, but that's not going to show once it's hanging up like that. Not unless you get down on the floor and have a look at it. Right, okay, so I don't use my fingers to get fingernails to force this apart. I use my tweezers to encourage it apart. So this is why also I said don't have the glue dots too close to the edge, because when these slide over they can get caught onto the glue dots. Right, I'm going to put this in to make sure that we can actually see through. Oh, that went together nice and easy, didn't it? There we go. Right, you need to know which side is which with your rim. Okay, so we know that this is the outside rim, the one that's smooth on the outside. Now I always say that put the bow on that side, then you always know which is the side without the rim. And the reason that you need to know that is if you had a problem with the bauble not closing, chances are it's because one of these has gone underneath that and it would block it from going. So it's easy to know if the bow's this side, this is a side where the circles have got to go over that side, so you can just turn it around, have a look like that, and that you know what you're looking for. It's got to be one of these going over there. It can't be this side. Okay, so all of my baubles, they've all got their bows on the non-outside rim, the clear outside rim. So just a couple of glue dots on there. That's going to cover up that little gap that I showed you. And also with the cord, the hanging cord, I take 12 inches approximately. And if you haven't seen me show this little tip before, if you finish up with cord that's got kinks in it, just wet your fingers. I'm just using baby wipe, and then just pull that through your fingers. Okay, makes it go a lot straighter. It's not perfect, I know, but it's a lot better than it was. Right, just pop these two together. I'm going to put the cord through. Now, when you're doing this, don't tie your cord around this bit here. Because you've got to open and close this, you need it to be able to have room to pull apart. Otherwise you're going to finish up putting too much pressure on the plastic hook part, and chances are you'll break it. Okay, so I just do a double knot, knot up at the top there. Cut that piece off, and that is done. Now, how beautiful is that? Let's put my night light back in there. That one's going together so easily, it's amazing. Okay. So I'd just like to show you the other baubles that I posted on my blog today. This one is our vellum, but it's the plain vellum. I haven't embossed this one at all. Okay. And then I did them using the 3 patterned vellums that are available in our Christmas catalogue at the moment, if you like a bit of colour with things. This one I quite like. This one I'm not sure about. Feedback would be appreciated, what you think about the coloured ones. Now that one looks quite nice. I think it's possibly the stripes that I'm not so keen on. But that looks nice. So there you go. That's today's project. Hope you like it. Hope you give it a try. If you have any questions, please contact me. I will be more than happy to help you. Let's bring last year's one in as well. Yes, if you've got any questions, please ask. I'm happy to help. If you've enjoyed my video, please click on the subscribe button, which is probably on the right hand side of the screen, although maybe down below, depends what you're watching the video on. If you'd like to buy any of the products that I featured here, apart from the baubles, please click on the 24/7 link that's at the bottom of the screen, and that'll take you straight to my Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.